Yeah. I'm going to try to keep track of comments on Teams if they're working. So after I do my intro, Bill can come up and then I'll just kind of stand up there and see if there are any comments and I'll just tell them what they are. This is the first time I've used Teams too, so it'll be great. She knows stuff. She's smart like that. This is the first time they've had somebody else come in and help work out tonight. So yeah, that's why. Thank you. Concentrating so far.
So, we're just gonna have to. This is more, so. It provides. So, I guess.
Responses from your service that moves in. Yeah. Those people are. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
And then on.
Oh, good.
She wanted. Just nice. Students. There's job.
Good. I wish I could have seen it.
So she's gonna scan this out for her.
The only other thought I had was to maybe send a survey out to station like Reed.
No, no.
That's right. Just because it's a little like the Ecodiva group that really goes out into the rural areas. So it'd be very similar to that. That's the only other besides students, which I know we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. I kind of forgot. Brace yourself.
7:30.
7:30 in the morning. It's better than 7:30 at night.
Okay.
I mean, I don't love it. I mean, I'm not gonna be there. I mean, I love that for them.
Okay.
Kansas Leadership Center right down the street. Sure. Find that one. I guess.
Very important.
Not always gone right now, but.
Yeah, I'll just put one. Oh, that's right first.
Right. But it is the bands.
But maybe it's something that they send out as a survey.
Such a great space. It is, and it's to your point,
Right.
I was waiting, so we approved this. Lily, I think.
Go around this way.
No.
Did you get,
It would have been good.
did you get everything that I sent?
I think Teresa did.
Okay,
We've got it on schedule.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
So,
Not 5 like city council.
3. All right, I'm cool with that.
Hold on,
I speak 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Did you bring some trees to play? Oh, not tonight.
All right, kids.
But I've already got it on.
It's on the schedule, yeah.
Thank you, thank Appreciate
Get arranged. I told him that
We-
he
we
needed
should know.
me to figure out placement or whatever. I didn't know if it was gonna be patently obvious. I did tell him it's not out there.
It's obvious. There's
Hello,
2 or
how are
3
you?
squares
Oh, there's planters already there.
You're on the agenda.
cut out to the cottage.
Okay. I'll update that.
Well,
So, yeah.
I'm hoping that you'll take a look at this because
I'll let him
we,
know.
we.
We'll make it happen.
Something.
Thank you.
And that,
How are you?
because
I can see better.
Because.
What I'm talking about tonight.
I talked to.
Only if you agree lucky like that.
Touchdown.
Sure.
Our.
But we'll see if they can convince me.
That on Tuesday, they recommend some sustainability.
And
And like.
part of the actually survived.
I just got so many.
I've been.
I don't know.
I've been.
I think I have a good argument.
Okay.
So, I'm going for it.
Okay.
You are documenters.
No.
Upgraded
Well,
their, the
Okay.
POS
nice.
system,
Said I wanted to get.
something like that. For a very long time.
So I got a 4-6.
Clinic.
And that's why we need you guys to write, and I did, a packet together, and that I did we did a letter for you guys, but we also, you know, any additional things that you guys want to put in there,
Okay.
go ahead and put in there. And then that'll spark the city to.
Come on, how are you? Doing well. Perkins, how are you, sir? Staying warm out there in the weather's changing.
District advisory.
Okay, you was born for it, huh?
So,
High 40s, low 50s, right in there. Yeah, I respect it.
oh yeah.
Okay, JD will.
Thursday, April 23rd.
I trust you. You can better handle it. I said, well, do you know the date of the last review? She said, well, I simply from video.
Yeah.
So last year too.
That's what I thought.
You guys did last year. Didn't have it. All looks for it. I'll give it to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, but I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah. In January. It's.
Yeah, I can watch. For sure, on the bottom line now, yeah.
I'll send you that form.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so very busy, huh?
It's the weather is warmer. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting for it.
Yeah, yeah.
People are
It's lots.
So.
happy in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to do.
No.
Well, yeah.
Busy.
I can do something.
Wait, you want to sit?
My neighborhood, again, well, I think we're gonna get
The property over on.
and there's RV park, makes
They have like. I would also like down to line. Then you can move. Yeah, it's okay. That's true. A lot of space.
Yeah,
Show them what you need to do.
They have them. I don't know.
yeah,
It's surprising.
yeah.
I don't really see it now.
And I know they had, we went out there one year to watch fireworks. Because you can see all of the dirt, yeah. So it's condensed in that. Do you think tomorrow's election will decide? There it is. Yeah. Really.
When Ben was here.
Yeah.
Yep, I was here.
Baby.
So they're not.
He watched it, but he tried to change it.
No, I like.
That's it. Yeah.
What? I mean.
Anderson, how are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Good. You look good. Yeah, make me look bad.
You know, we all in the place to build all that he's ever been in this process.
That's good.
The margins.
Your son go to.
Feels new.
The lobby for that. That field is not a regulation. It's field.
It's, you know, you,
No,
It's not.
So it's just the answer.
yeah.
The letter.
I started doing some there.
For everybody.
You got 4.
Six.
You know what I mean? Now, what's your name? Will be here? Mary?
For next year.
Fine.
just jump in.
I'll probably have a hard year. I think I'm just gonna go in as a sophomore.
Okay.
Maybe,
Okay. Yeah, I can get the chair.
How big? Oh, Sierra.
here.
Andrew Crane.
Chair,
How are you, sir?
how are you?
I'm outstanding.
Good. I was gonna say, when I get ready to speak, is there any chance that you can, read the letter first? And then, on it.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Let 'em-
No.
Very, very much.
Yeah.
Let me write it down for you.
It's been a very long week. I need one more weekend day.
I'm hopefully, I'm not gonna be on
Him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this March installment of the District 5 Advisory Board meeting. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us and engage within the confines of our amazing and beautiful community. We are going to do things just a little bit different this evening to accommodate for some administrative purposes. So with that said, we will default into our public agenda. And our first speaker shall be Mr. Andrew Crane, the Accessibility for the Blind. Mr. Crane has given a letter that he would like to have read prior to his engagement, so I shall accommodate Mr. Crane's request. Dear Advisory Board member, greetings. I am reaching out to discuss an opportunity to collaborate on making your organization or business, as well as the Wichita Central County community, more accessible. While I am a member of the Wichita Central County Access Advisory Board, please note that I am contacting you today as a private citizen. Members of our community with disabilities work hard to support local businesses and organizations by shopping and attending events. However, many encounter challenges related to transportation, safe building access, and online accessibility for purchasing goods and services. These difficulties have increased in Wichita, especially following the $4.9 million project intended to create a more walkable downtown. The WSCAAB, the Wichita Central County Access Advisory Board, has engaged with city and county leadership about these concerns, noting that recent projects do not fully comply with public right-of-way accessibility guidelines or other best practices. Key issues include the absence of audible pedestrian signals, inconsistent curb cuts, and sidewalks that are not safely traversable. The success of downtown businesses depends on support from all patrons, whether through ticket purchases, event attendance, sales of goods, or services. Accessibility is crucial for maximizing patronage. It is important to note that over 25% of the U.S. population identifies as having a disability. I am requesting that your business or organization send a letter referencing the WSCAAB to city and county leadership. The letter should ask for the recent downtown two-way conversion project to address the accessibility issues described above. Specifically, it should request a review and update of curb ramps, installation of APS at affected intersections, and a commitment that all future street and sidewalk work will comply with PROWAG and best practices recommended by the Federal Department of Transportation and the Institute of Traffic Engineers. Including a discussion of the economic consequences of limited accessibility may also be helpful. A template letter and contact list for Wichita and Central County leadership are available for your use. I am happy to provide more information regarding these issues and this request. Thank you in advance for your attention and support in this effort. Mr. Andrew Crane.
Well, good evening, all. I wanted to come and let you know about this letter. I am a part of the disability and blind community here, and helping out the blind and low vision community. And you know, our sidewalks and crosswalks need to be safer. And we are asking everybody to write a letter to your city leaders and county leaders, because we need your guys' help. If you walk downtown, the curb cuts are not even correct, and stuff. And even today, I was having trouble getting over to my office because of all the cones and destruction that they were doing downtown. They don't think about the disability or blind community, and that. So that's why I'm here talking to you guys and talking to District 5 and Councilman. I hope you'll take this back to the council and let's get some work done.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Crane. Appreciate all of your work. Thank you. So we will divert and navigate gracefully just for 1 second while we take care of administrative business. We will officially call this meeting to order. And our order of business will be the approval of the agenda for the March 2nd, 2026 gathering. It's in your packets for review. Is there a motion on the floor for approval?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign. The motion shall carry unanimously. Next order of business is the approval of the minutes from the February 2nd, 2026 meeting that was available in our packets for review. After second of thought, is there a motion on the floor for approval?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been put to the floor in second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion shall carry unanimously. We will jump back into public agenda, and we will hear from Randy Timish
Did good.
from the Sustainability Integration Board. The floor is yours. Randy, I will set my timers for 3 minutes. You let me know when you are ready to go. You let me know when you are ready.
But been surprised. Hey, you got me by Cincinnati, late team at home. You can have
Arizona game.
Yeah. That was away.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My name is Randy Timish, and I have served on the Sustainability Integration Board for a year now. And I've presented this before, but I'm going to try to make it really short, so 3 minutes. So I just want to go back over what the Sustainability Integration Board does. And basically in the ordinance that was signed, that it said we were created by the city of Wichita. And we are to advise the city council and city staff on sustainability matters affecting the city's long-term livability and economic vitality. So there was a meeting yesterday or last Tuesday that went over the boards. And there were some questions, good questions. The challenge was to ask how these boards fulfill these different challenges. So I was very disappointed to see that they want to sunset the Sustainability Integration Board. And I think what we do is of value. So this is the purpose. There's a lot of great things to focus on: energy and economy, climate resilience, waste reduction, community engagement. It's a pretty hefty lift, but I think we work pretty hard to work on these things and share it with other people. One of the complaints or concerns is that a lot of these boards don't have enough people. We have enough people, and most of them show up, and we do have quorums, except for Christmas. Another comment was that the administration did not have enough staff to support these boards. Well, I think we have enough staff in the public works. They just hired Kelly Dillo as a sustainability and resiliency coordinator. And she is supposed to be working with us on sustainabilities. We'll rush through this. I should mention one of the things that we're concerned about is the tree canopy policy. We want to make sure that the trees are being replaced. Right now, this last year, there was 385 trees planted, but there was 3,254 removed. So we are losing our tree canopy. It isn't helping how hot the city is. We also were part of the drought restrictions, not particularly with us, but Gary Jensen was very helpful. He always came in and spoke to us. He met with us and explained why they were doing the things they were doing. One of the things that's in the ordinance is that the sustainability is to work with the community and with schools. We're doing that. I think I've answered all those. I don't feel like we've overlapped. We have support, we have administrative support, and I don't think we are misaligned with the city because basically we're supposed to be looking at sustainability and livability in Wichita. And I do think that should be priorities for the city council. And I certainly hope that they will agree that the Sustainability Integration Board should continue. And if any of you think it should, please let Davey know. Thank you.
Outstanding time, and thank you, Randy. Is there any member of the public who is present that did not sign up, that would like to speak on something that is currently not on the agenda this evening? So moved. The recommended action is to receive and file. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign. And that motion shall carry unanimously. We'll move to the board agenda, business of our evening. That is updates and issues and reports from our outstanding council member, Mr. J.B. Johnston. Sir.
The nice thing everybody said about me. Thank you. Just a couple quick updates. I don't know if anyone got a chance to go to the new police substation groundbreaking. So pretty cool. I went by there today and they've moved dirt. So they're underway. So that's very exciting. I know the police are excited about that, and it'll be a lot better space for them. If you're at the old one by 235, it's crowded. What else? It's not pretty. It's not at all. It's barely functional. So
Built 35 years ago.
yeah. So it'll be nice. And then when they move out, the fire department can take some of that space over. So anyway, that's exciting. Second thing is tomorrow's voting day. There's sales tax question, 1% sales tax. So just encourage everyone to go out and vote. So I hear that voter turnout's been very good so far. So especially for a special election. So just please go out and make your voice heard. That's it.
Questions, comments, thoughts from the board? Anyone from the audience? Very well. We will move into staff reports.
You got a question over here?
I'm sorry, please.
As far as the voting, as far as the 1% sales tax, the city has specified how they're going to divide that up, but have they got any individual projects in those divisions of the money that might come in?
Such as, well, the homeless one,
Well,
homeless shelter's there already, so it'd be
to
funded.
be honest with you, I'm a retired police officer.
Okay.
Okay, is the new substation going to be funded for that, by that?
New substation is already funded.
Okay. How, for the amount for the police, has that been determined how it's going to be spent yet, or is that going to be up to Chief Sullivan?
No, there is in the CIP, the 10-year CIP, it does have specific items that are in there, and I don't know what they are for the police, but both for the fire and the police, there are specific items. However, the chiefs of both departments, fire chief and police chief, can rearrange that as needed to rise.
Okay.
So it's somewhat fluid, but there is a definite plan of what's going to be replaced, both equipment wise and police station and fire station wise.
Okay.
So, but it can change.
That was my main question.
Yeah. Good question.
Outstanding. All right, moving into staff reports. I speak with bias, but I also speak with truth. So the greatest Wichita fire and police, just you guys, there isn't anybody better. There isn't anybody greater than Wichita Fire and Wichita Police. So in our staff reports, up first, we have Wichita Police Department. Officer Perkins is in the building. Sir, the floor is yours.
Mine's actually kind of short for today. My name's Officer Perkins. I'm a community policing officer. I'm actually not in DAB 5 any longer. I am in DAB 4. I want to go over some of the, I think I can probably yell loud enough. Talk about some of the events. We are in, not February, March. So, not in a DAB 5 event also, but it is a West Side event. The upcoming St. Patty's Parade, that is on Saturday the 14th. Douglas Street between McLean and Seneca will be closed. They're also probably going to use Maple, down to Maple on McLean for setting up of these floats. It's going to be closed early, it's about 7 o'clock, probably till about 4 o'clock, but it starts at noon. So either go down or be aware that that street is going to be closed. The next Second Chance Thursday, it's an event where the police department holds it every 3 months to allow individuals with, well, I'll just use the term low-level warrants, traffic warrants, environmental warrants like that, to come in and get these warrants cleared to get a new court date. Sometimes they can just pay their fines right there. We've seen that happen to where they don't have to get arrested, be booked into jail. It is going to be on Thursday, March 26th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Carl Brewer Community Center at 1329 East 16th. There are some flyers out there if you know somebody who would like to have one out there. I'm going to go kind of into the stats. Everybody up here has some stats, and there's also some of these stats out there on the table also. They're kind of broken down into 6 different categories if you guys are going to pick one up. I kind of like to fold it. A lot of this stuff talks about the last 28 days versus the average of years ago. And, you know, being a simple person, I kind of like the last 30 days compared to the previous 30 days, and this same time last year compared to the same time last year, or this year compared to last year. So I look at column number 1 and column number 5. All of the columns are relevant, but so I kind of just fold mine over, look at the first column and the 5th column. And that's what I'm going to kind of talk about. We have some that are on the rise, and some of them, the percentages are kind of high, but anybody who knows anything about statistics, we have one statistic is 400%. It's 5 from 1. So, not saying that it's not concerning, but it's not 400% concerning. Our part 1 violent crimes, they're at the top. Anybody's going to look at these. What we had increases from or aggravated assaults from the last 30 days to the previous 30 days went from 10 to 18, but 12 of those are domestic violence related. That's what we would call a known victim and a known suspect. So not somebody running around out here with a baseball bat or shooting at people in reference to those. Our part 1 property crimes, every category is down or stayed the same compared to those. So like I said, our aggravated assaults are up. We have rapes that are up 1 from the latest 30 days to the previous 30 days. And some of those are domestic violence related also. So crime pretty much about the same. This is for District 5, DAB 5 only. This is not, I didn't bring, sometimes I'll bring compared to DAB 6 or DAB 4 since we're kind of close to those, but I did not do that this time. So I don't know how your DABs, but I can tell you from the past, when I've come out here and compared them, your guys' violent crime is much less than other parts of the city. So does anybody have any questions or concerns? Anything I need to take back to any of the other officers that are in the area?
What about the overall crime in the entire city of Wichita?
From what I've been told, it is down compared to in the past. I saw that on Facebook.
That'd be true.
Yeah, it's on Facebook, it's gotta be true, right? All right. Nobody has anything, I'll turn it over to Fire.
Thank you, Officer Perkins.
Thank you.
From the world's greatest police department.
Yeah.
Now, from the world's greatest fire department, we will have Acting Battalion Chief Cox. Sir, the floor is yours.
Chad Cox, I'm one of the acting battalion chiefs out here in Battalion 4, which covers the west side of Wichita. Got some reminders for you guys, again, with the spring-like temperatures that we've kind of had all winter. Just a reminder, especially moving into the spring, a lot of people like to have the outdoor fires. Run into this a lot where people have it too close to their structures. Reminder is try and keep those fires at least 15 feet away from the house. Also, people don't think about it, but we need to be looking overhead. We're going to have our outdoor fires. Tree branches, overhangs on the house, power lines. Sometimes our fires get a little bigger and we start catching those things on fire and then they spread. The other thing is if we are burning in our outdoor fireplaces, we don't want to put leaves or anything that causes a lot of smoke because the smoke is what the nuisance is for our neighbors. And that's usually when we get called out is people start throwing all their leaves, their stuff in their fire pits. Again, it starts bothering the neighbors, and then we have to come. Just some friendly reminders. That's all I have. Any questions? Short, just like you said.
Short.
Yes, sir.
You know what the reason is for all the delayed maintenance on the various fire stations?
That's above my pay grade, sir. I don't have a good answer for you on that.
From what I've heard, past city councils, when something goes wrong, they kick those fire stations down the line. So if they need $10 million for a bridge, fire station replacement, instead of year 3, they kick it back to year 12 or whatever. So that's, I think, why fire is so in favor of the sales tax, because they know they'd get what they want. So
Good question. Any other questions? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief Cox. We appreciate you.
feedback.
Next, we will hear from the most amazing branch manager that has ever been bestowed upon any library system. We shall hear from Miss Tracy Partridge.
He's on a roll tonight. Okay. So, no, it's scary. Like people, like my staff were scared when I brought in this big block. Okay, so I just want to give a few announcements about the Wichita Public Library System. The first is we're getting ready to do our 40th year of Academy Award short showings. That actually starts this Saturday. We are going to be doing it at Boulevard Theaters Old Town, an all-day screening where we will show all 15 of the documentary, animated, and live actions. Now, if you can't make it, that's okay. Or if it's like completely full and you can't get in, that's okay. Because we are going to be having showings throughout the week at various locations. I'm a little partial to Westlink, so I will mention Westlink specifically, which will actually be Saturday, March 14th at 10:15 until 2. We will be doing the animated and live action here. And then that afternoon, they will actually do the documentary, and that will actually end the Academy Award short showings for our 40th year. Another thing that I want to mention is spring break is almost here. As a library, we have all ages that utilize us, but we're really big on kids and getting them into the environment and reading. We have a lot of activities planned throughout the system, but there's 4 that I want to mention. Again, here at Westlink, I'm showing my partiality. On the 17th, we are going to do a program called Happy Birthday, Mercy Watson. It's actually for kindergarten through 5th grade. Mercy is actually a pig that was invented by Kate DiCamillo. So if you love Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, you're going to love Mercy from Happy Birthday, Mercy Watson. That is again on the 17th. On the 18th at 2:30, we're going to have a big block challenge. And that is why I brought this. This is actually just an example of the type of blocks that we'll be using in our program. But kids ages 9 to 12 will get the opportunity to build with blocks that they're not typically able to because they just don't have them at home, whereas we have a ton. And they are called Anji Play Blocks. Another thing is we're having a teen cooking basics program on the 20th at 1. So if you have any teenagers between the grades of 6 through 12, then you can get them out of the house for 2 hours and someone else will feed them. And I know that that will be much appreciated by anyone as teenagers. And then on Saturday, we'll be doing a beaded sun catchers program, which is actually for adults, and that's at 2:30. So those are the spring break activities that I want to mention. I also want to mention we're getting ready to have our first anniversary at the remodeled Westlake Branch. That is actually March 24th. We will have been open a year, so we're incredibly excited about that. The next time that I come, I will bring statistics so you will know how many books we checked out, how many meeting room usage. I can't stop usages that we had, etc. So I'm really excited to see what the ending statistics are for the year. And then the final thing that I want to mention is that we're doing our big read activity again. That's where we try and get as many people as possible to read the same book and discuss it. We are actually doing that from March 29th through April 26th. This year, we're actually doing a book of poetry. So that's kind of exciting. It's called The Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude. It is by Ross Gay. It has a focus on nature. Our kickoff event is actually going to be at our Maya Angelou library. And I say Angelou and some people say Angelo, so I apologize. I'm famous for mispronouncing things. But we're going to have that at the Maya Angelou library. And it's going to be a 2-hour event where you're going to have an opportunity to do like poetry writing, fig tasting. You'll get to see the start of their construction of a garden because they're going to have a community garden at that location. So that is kind of just some things that we're excited about. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I have no question, but I just have a comment. I want to thank you for hosting the Agatha Christie Radio Hour. We had standing room only. So I really appreciate that type of community event that you offer.
And you were very welcome, and we were very excited to see the response that we had. And I was incredibly glad that you came. It always makes me so happy when like the DAB board members come on times when it is not a meeting. So that was incredibly exciting for us. And it truly was standing room only. I had to tell the person who was responsible for the activity, we have to have aisleways because if there's something that happens, we have to be able to get out. But that many people wanted to see it, so that's pretty cool. Any questions? Okay, you have all of these events you must now come to. I want to see every one of you this month at Westlake. And this today does not count. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
That will bring us to our Park and Recreation Department report. That shall be delivered by the greatness that is Gary Barris.
It's fantastic walkout.
Need some Rocky music or something, you know.
So, things to go over. Spring registration is currently going on. Classes will begin the week of March 3rd. The Evolve Guide can be picked up at the recreation facilities and viewed online at Wichita.gov. Summer of Discovery and summer activity camps registration has begun already. These registrations can be done online or in person. There's $20 deposit required for Summer of Discovery for each week that you signed up for. All these summer camp locations are licensed through KDHE as child care facilities. So there's a lot of protocols that have to be met, regulations that are met to be able to meet that standard. Edgemoor, Linwood, and Orchard Recreation Centers will be having a Kids Connection Camp the week of spring break, March 16th to 20th. The fee is $27 a day. Park maintenance continues to work on winter project list. That includes a lot of vegetation management. In particularly, a project that I had in mind isn't in DAB 5 or in District 5, but it's close in District Pawnee Prairie Park. It's close to here. We also do quite a bit of this work in Swanson Park, but some vegetation management, some invasive tree species are getting into the meadow area. So we're trying to mitigate that as during winter months when have mowing and things like that going on. So trying to get a lot of projects like that done. We're fighting back against the invasive species. Illegal dumping is at a fever pitch across the system. With the new ordinance, when we capture a license plate, turn that over to WPD for processing. That is a daily occurrence for us to turn something into WPD. So we catch a teeny tiny, very teeny tiny portion of what actually occurs. Do we actually get to turn in? We just don't have the necessary information. Forestry is consistently working on the backlog of tree removals and long overdue pruning. We just finished up a contract for contracted tree removal. We're already working on putting another contract out on the street. Itinerant camp cleanup is ongoing, as well as graffiti and vandalism repairs. I wanted to bring your attention to a piece of an interactive map, I guess. So if you go to wichita.gov, go to the Park and Rec Department, go to Parks, and within Parks, have Operations, my little area of the world. There's a hotkey in the first paragraph talking about park maintenance data. Hit that hotkey, take you to a different site. But this is an interactive map that details out where work has been done. This updates every night. So it's not live information, but it's as close as we can get. But this has costs associated with the work, labor hours, locations, things like that. So illegal dumping, all of our data is what's currently shown. You can select a year. So say 2025, 1,800 locations that we cleared just with illegal dumping. That's not what was illegal dumped into a dumpster that then was taken off by truck. That's dumped on the right of way. It's dumped on, in a park. It's dumped in the trees or whatever, and then we have to go in and clean it up. So that costs us over $45,000. Homeless remediation. So itinerant camp cleanup is another name for this. So in 2025, which was the first year that we insourced this work, we had 459 work orders, $176,000, almost $177,000. If you compare that to 2024, when the majority of that work was outsourced, the 225 work orders for more money. So that's the power of insourcing right there. Our crews are very efficient. They're very effective. And what we don't show on this particular map is the turnaround days for the time from the time we receive notification to the time the job is complete. With outsourced work, that time frame was anywhere from 21 plus days. It even got into over 30 days at times. Our average is less than 4 days. So there's a huge amount of efficiency and flexibility that has come from insourcing that work. So again, this webpage is public facing, and anytime you have a question about what's going on with graffiti removal or vandalism, and you can zoom into a specific area, you can click on a dot and see what was going on there. There's a lot of information about what was happening, what the actual issue was. So there's a lot of information on this, and it does update every evening. So any questions?
Good work, Gary. Very good.
All right.
Compliment you too on the cleanups.
Oh, thanks.
A lot more efficient, cost less money, and I think we don't get as many complaints about them not being cleaned up. So thank you.
There's still plenty of them out there.
There's a lot of them. You do it quickly, so thank you.
Absolutely. In our package, there should be a recommended action to receive and file our staff reports. That is not there. So the action, is it on the next page? No, is there a motion to receive and file?
I'll move to receive and file.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to receive and file. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion shall carry unanimously. We shall jump into new business. Imagine ICT Park Master Plan. This is Tim Kellums. Ms. Katie, is it Edie?
Eddie.
Eddie? I was right on the first time. I should have went with my first thought. Listen, and I want to tell you guys that the city of Wichita is amazing because they have amazing people who work in their offices, and that accounts for you too. So thank you for all of it.
All right, I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about our ongoing master plan process for Park and Recreation. We're working jointly with the City of Wichita Park and Recreation Department as well as the Central County Parks Department to develop this ongoing plan. It should cover us for the next 10 years once we're done and guide us in our decision making. We do have a current master plan in place. However, it was created in 2008 and things have changed quite a bit since that time. Not only just with our city and our economy, but with the Parks and Recreation and how our trends are, how people use our parks and how they recreate. So we're developing this new plan. We're working with a consultant team to gather information, do benchmarking, all of that to create a really well-informed plan for the next 10 years. So we're hoping to align our investments with what the community actually wants and needs. We want to ensure strategic use of tax dollars, improve access, equity, and service delivery across all districts in the community, strengthen our financial sustainability, and provide clear priorities, cost estimates, and phased implementation strategies, and not just making decisions on a whim without putting the proper thought into how it will be maintained in the long term. So what we've done so far is we initiated this project in September. And we've got the funding through the CIP. We have we've done the full RFP to select our consultant team, and we contracted them in September. The consultant team has conducted extensive staff interviews. They've worked with some focus groups for staff members across the city, not just within our department. They've worked with some community members. We've done 6 pop-up events throughout the city. We've had a citywide public open house. And then the consultant team is also visiting each and every park, and they're inventorying. They're doing assessments of the quality and conditions of every park and the amenities within them. They're doing all the necessary background research, data collection, using our data, using national data and statistics to compare what other cities of similar sizes are doing, how they're funded, how much they're funded, how much staff they have, et cetera. And then we've also issued a community survey. There was a random sample, statistically valid survey that has already been completed, and they're in the process right now of gathering those results and analyzing them. There's currently still a community-wide option open that anyone can still take. That is going to be open through March 13th. There's also a social pinpoint app available online, which is an interactive map where you can go in and click on any park location and provide input, feedback, suggestions, concerns, what have you. And that's all publicly visible, so you can also comment on comments people have already made. The needs assessment gap analysis are being finalized by the consultant team, and they're also doing the financial analysis right now. And what's still to come is once we get this public engagement portion wrapped up, we're going to start compiling all of that to draft recommendations for us once they have all of that data source compiled. And then we'll work over the summer to develop new vision, goals, what have you, the cost estimates for the recommendations. During that recommendation phase, there will be another public engagement opportunity for the public to give feedback basically on what those recommendations are. If they think it's completely off base, if there's ways we could detail it a little bit better. So right now I can't give too much comment since I haven't seen what the draft recommendations are yet, but we'll look for that this summer and we'll have an opportunity to bring that back to you for your input as well. So right now, really what I'm asking is for continued feedback. Like I said, that social pinpoint map and the survey are open. I did place in front of you a little flyer that has the QR code as well as just the website itself to go to. Yep, that one right there. that website will have a link to the survey, takes about 15 minutes to complete, and then the map as well. And then as well as pretty much all this information that I just gave you is available as well in summary format, just so that anyone knows where we're at right now. I'll stand for any questions that you might have, but otherwise I look forward to seeing your voice on our survey.
Ask Deb, please do fill us out. It is very important.
And I know that the results are being aggregated by district as well. I believe at some point on the survey, they ask for your address just so they can make sure that they target what district each result is coming from. So we'll be able to see, okay, well, people in District 5 want more of this versus people in District 2 want that. So that'll help us a lot as well.
Any further thoughts, comments, or feedback for the board at this time?
How do you think it's going so far?
So far, I think it's going great. I personally got to do one of our pop-up events. Most of them we've just been letting our consultant take the lead on, since they're the experts on how to do this public engagement. But due to the weather we had back in January, we had to reschedule one, and they weren't able to come into town. So I was actually at the Great Plains Nature Center doing an event, having little stickers put on pictures to get people's interest in different types of amenities. So it was really cool to actually get out and hear from people, and people seem to be pretty passionate about parks, and obviously I'm pretty passionate about parks, so it was great to get that feedback.
What kind of attendance are you getting?
That one was really well attended. We had over 500 people at that event, but that was because it was already an established event, but 250 engaged specifically in my activity, which I think is the most that we've had at one of those pop-up events. But I think we've had 500 responses on the survey so far. So I'd like to see another couple hundred come in this last 2 weeks. But overall, we're getting a variety of feedback.
Good. Good. Another question?
Thank you. Certainly, last but not least, we will have discussions of economic mobility in Wichita with some amazing representatives from the Greater Wichita Partnership and Gardner Design. Floor is yours. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that warm welcome. My name's Tammy Bradley, and tonight I'm representing the Greater Wichita Partnership and the Kansas Health Foundation in this project that we just kind of want to have a conversation about. I work with the talent and workforce division of the Greater Wichita Partnership, but it also looks at jobs and it looks at quality of life. We have this opportunity tonight, and we've been doing this for about a month. We've got a few more weeks to go, where we are going out to community groups, listening to how you interpret progress, or what success looks like in your lives, and how you talk about that. So Gardner Design is they're the experts in communication. They're gonna facilitate this. I just want to thank you all for allowing us to come out to District 5, the best district in the city of Wichita.
Thank you.
I live out here, so thank you, and anybody online who would like to participate can do that as well. So thank you.
I kind of feel like I didn't get the full kind of how great I am.
You are an outstanding steward and an amazing gentleman, sir, and we are astounded to have you here.
And he's a legend.
Legendary, yeah.
Legendary.
Very good.
I've been listening to your introductions to people tonight, and I'm going, boy, I want to be somebody in your life. I'm Bill Gardner, and really, this is going to be kind of a different gathering of information, and I'm as equally excited about having the council answer in on this as I am everybody else here. I'll tell you what we're up to. So this is being done in conjunction with the Greater Wichita Partnership, and they have a special funding from the Kansas Health Foundation, who's also involved in this. And one of the things that we're trying to do is there are so many different organizations that are available to help folks that may be disadvantaged or in a position where they need special assistance. There is a variety of language that's used by each one of those organizations, and there's not a lot of commonality in there. And when they came to us, they said, our challenge is that everybody refers to this as people dealing with economic mobility or upward mobility. Nobody knows what that means. It's, you know, it's a general rule. When you talk to somebody and you start talking about economic mobility or upward mobility, they question, is it, are you talking about a small cart that you can get around in? What kind of mobility are we talking about? And as we get into this, one of the initiatives here is to try and think of ways that those organizations can talk to individuals and talk to people using language that is much more descriptive of some of the services and some of the things that they offer. And one of the things that I wanted to do, Teresa, do we have that little video right before we hit that? I'm gonna kind of share just by a show of hands. Anybody attend the Somewhere Fest or Elsewhere Fest downtown last year, the music festival? Okay. As part of that festival, Kansas Health Foundation surveyed about 500 individuals. And part of the Kansas Health Foundation's initiative is to give funding to help improve people's lives throughout the state. But they need to know where they need to be able to direct those funds. And one of the things that they did was they said, you know, instead of asking somebody what they would do with the money if it were given to them, we put together an area where people could come up and we said, you probably know somebody in your life, somebody who is challenged. It might be a relative, it might be an acquaintance, it might be somebody that your parents know that has challenges. If you could make a wish that would help improve that individual's life, what would that thing be that you would wish for them? And it was interesting because it kind of took it out of the, what would you do for yourself? But put it into the, what would you do to help somebody else? We got some of the most amazing answers. It might be things like, it'd be nice if Denise had a car so that she could get to school so that she could continue her education. Or my mother has health issues and she needs help with her health issues. Or it might be something like, you know, someone who has childcare that they can't afford to be able to hold down a job that pays for their childcare and also advances them. And we got some of the most amazing insights. And Teresa, let's go ahead and play that just real quick, if you don't mind, just to kind of give you a sense of what some of these people said and how this went down. Thank you, by the way, for allowing us time to do it. In the sense of how this went down here, it was such a barrage of really valuable information to us. But our initiative right now is, because Gartner Design deals with communication and words and the way that people speak to each other, is to get your input to help us with the kinds of terminology and thoughts that you might have that we could use as words to help better describe economic mobility or upward mobility in a way that all of these different entities can have a common language that they can use when they're describing the same thing to multiple people. And by having that level of commonality, we hope we get greater outcomes from the people that we're actually talking to. I guess I'll say one last thing before I start to get this input, and that's that it may ultimately come down to a phrase. A number of years ago, the Kansas Health Foundation put together a campaign that was called Take It Outside. Some of you may remember that. It was basically saying, listen, we understand that there are people that smoke, and they may be people that smoke in your life or in your home or in your office. And we're not saying quit smoking. We're not saying cigarettes are bad. We're saying, take it outside so that somebody else doesn't have to put up with your smoking. But you'll notice the way that that was phrased was really wonderful, because it was just take it outside. And you knew immediately what they were referring to. That if you were a smoker, you didn't take offense to the fact that, well, you didn't ask me to quit smoking. You just said, make it better for other people. So we're also thinking about phrases associated with economic mobility or upward mobility. It might be, a hand up instead of a handout, or a step forward, or to make a better place. That being said, because JB, you're my buddy, I'm going to ask you thoughts on what kind of words come to mind when you think about economic mobility. And by the way, they're taking notes, so don't think I'm not capturing all of this.
I was going to mention the hand up
Okay, go ahead.
instead of a handout. And that gives the vision of people helping people. Helping them hand up.
Yep.
Instead of trying to put people down, lift them up. So.
I'm good lifting somebody up.
Mhm.
Come on.
I think that piece about empowerment is important. So when you're talking about giving somebody a hand up, you're allowing them to use their time, their talents, their labor, their opportunities to help and to do for themselves. So I like any components where you're talking about a hand up as opposed to a handout. I like that.
Others, and I'm going to take a show of hands out here. Just anybody who wants to speak up on this. Randy, you mind if I ask you?
Nope.
You don't? Good.
I don't have anything to
Oh,
say.
you don't have any thoughts?
No.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
I've got a question.
Please.
When you talk about helping people, do you work with outside agencies, or are you just talking about the agencies that you're associated with?
Tell me about how many different agencies are there that are?
Right now, we have about 25 stakeholder organizations, is how we've termed that. So we have Goodwill, we have, I'm gonna blank on every one of them now. Habitat for Humanity, pardon?
Second Light.
Second Light. So we have a lot of the large organizations and some of the smaller ones who are helping us work together. And they're really the ones who are looking for this common language, because they know that if they're talking to either the people they serve, or maybe it is city council members or another group of people, they might use their own language, but we're really all talking about the same thing. And so that's kind of where we're headed.
The reason I ask is because the Wichita Police Department has a homeless outreach team. Have you ever
Yes.
talked with them?
We haven't specifically talked with them, but that's a good group. We could reach out to them as well.
Why not?
Yeah. I love that idea.
Because they're the ones who go out and deal with a lot of the homeless where we're having a lot of problems with. And
It's a great idea. We're actually speaking with about upwards of maybe 20 different organizations, this that being one of them. So that would be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you have some thoughts on language that, because you're an officer, that you might use to better describe that situation?
you can't use technical jargon.
That's
But
where we're going.
The Wichita Police Department, I found myself using it a lot. I'd be on the phone with a family member and they'd say, something and I'd say 10-4. Well, that's our 10 code for I understand, but how many people actually know it?
Right.
You can't use your jargon. You have to use plain, simple language. So if you're talking about someone who provides meals, that has to be out there. The upward mobility, I thought you were talking about economic advancement, not this.
Well, and when you think about it,
That may be part of it, but that's not all of it.
economic mobility and upward mobility both kind of lean into that economics aspect of it.
Yeah.
But there may be ways to improve an individual's stead and opportunities in life without it being an economic solution. So
My biggest fear is that you'll use jargon that's associated with those organizations and that somebody's not going to understand. I like their statement, you help them up, not hand out, because the more people you hand out, they're not going to want to do anything.
Rachel, I'm gonna pick on you.
I made eye contact, that's why. I didn't mean to. I think I have a question.
Yeah.
So, you are wanting to create a marketing campaign that expresses the different economic programs we have throughout the community, and you're looking for language on how to advertise those community issues. Is that correct?
So, you know what economic mobility means, or what upward mobility means. We're trying to find another way to say that so that it makes more sense to your point, less jargon-esque kind of terminology. And
A synonym for economic mobility is kind of what you're.
It's not necessarily going to be a campaign. It's more to level set and make our community aware through all these organizations what is available, what does it mean in our community if you need a job, if you need education, that sort of thing.
So it's not really a campaign. It's like we have all of these great groups like Habitat, Workforce Alliance, all that are already doing the work, but they're all talking about it differently with it. If it's housing, it's healthcare, we're all talking about the same thing. So when we're out responding or even talking to the community, they might not realize that, oh, you're all talking about advancement in this way. So we just got to find a way to break it down in a way that everyone understands, even the people that are doing the work, find a common way to talk about it and to move forward as a group under the same common language.
Much deeper than a campaign.
Yeah.
What's your audience?
People who need the services.
Need them
That's part of it.
or who are donors?
I think a big part of this is going to end up being these agencies, the people they speak with.
So I know, I mean, at Guadalupe Clinic, we serve, I got a couple board members next to me here. We serve people.
Sure.
That's all they have is roadblocks. So if they say, you said economic mobility, they don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Right.
And it means nothing to them. Because they see all these barriers. Most of our nurses are single mothers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. They have a medical assistant degree, but they can't go get their RN because RN's full-time.
Sure.
They don't have childcare to go full-time. Plus they need to work to feed their kids. So they can't go get that RN. So there is no economic mobility for them.
So the question is, how do you share what an organization's doing besides economic mobility? Is it, we provide opportunities, we provide hope. We are in the business of making your life better. These are all different ways of expressing the idea.
And they don't see that though.
I know they don't.
They don't
That's what
see
we're
any of
getting at. We're trying to get to that language.
Yeah.
That is more common, that will help them better understand that.
And in your example, is that breaking down those barriers? Is that how you talk about it?
Well, what's a solution for that barrier?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solution based.
I think along with JV's comment, I agree about the hand up, but having been in the healthcare business for many years and people that were low income coming in to your doors, they don't know how to navigate the system. So it's connections that are really important. You know, they may have found a way to get their health care, but they haven't found a way to address food insecurity. In a lot of organizations, we have great organizations in Wichita, but I did not see a lot of collaboration between organizations to make sure that they could interface with one another, to make sure people understood where they could go to get a hand up.
Sure. I think the word connections in there is really valuable. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I honestly feel the words caring and kindness. I think being kind to one another is a virtue. Caring for one another is a virtue. And I think that those words that we care for you, we care for one another, we care for the city, we care for the people who are in our community. And we're trying to reach out to them to provide what their needs are. And so when I think of needs, I think of extending that hand, extend that hand to let them know that I care. And I want to show kindness to everyone, because if we just be kind with one another, then it's a great place.
Wouldn't that be? Yeah.
And so those are all the words. They're things I actually pray about for my grandchildren. Let them grow to be kind and caring. And so I just think that those are important ones as we work in our community.
Very word. Blaine?
I don't really have any new ideas to bring to the table. I agree with most of the hands up comments and the kind and caring. I think that's very important language.
Anyone else at the table?
Thanks.
The word hope.
Hope. Yeah. Why does hope appeal to you that way?
Because there are people looking for something and they're looking for hope. They don't have it.
I know our employees, sometimes it's not hope for them, it's hope for their kids. I get my kids through school, I get them an education. There's hope for them.
You know, I know that, yes, sir.
Me again, sorry.
You're fine.
You were talking about communication, and one of the things, I'm of the generation that we never had computers. And a lot of times we concentrate on computers because it is an easy way of getting your message out. How many of the people that you're looking to help have computers? Now, I'm not saying go out and purchase a computer, but if you're talking about Goodwill and a lot of other organizations, are you going to them and asking them if they have people to serve, if they need, say, flyers to give out to those for healthcare? Or do they need help with bills? Is there some financial institution that they can go to? Do you have? I think you need other ways other than just the computer itself to be able to get the message out to people. You can't just depend on that because nobody knows how many people have computers and don't. And a lot of the homeless don't, obviously. But how do they figure out where to go and what to do? And if you can interchange that, not interchange, that's the wrong word. Have those organizations that you're talking to interact with the other organizations to provide flyers and information. So if someone goes into Goodwill and to purchase clothing, they now have an idea where they can go to get health care, where they can go to get housing, things like that.
Okay. So the system of communication is important.
Yeah. And I think you got to go very basic, not real. You need advanced technology, no doubt about it, but you need to go very basic on that.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Bill, until 10 minutes ago, I didn't know this existed. I'm trying to process it in my own mind, but sure. Your customer is Greater Wichita Partnership. How after you answer my question, I have a follow-up question, sure. How are you going to consider this a very successful project for your firm?
Can you address that or?
Thanks, Bill. That's a great
I think
question.
it kind of leads into the audience. I'm trying to understand who your customer is, and you're talking to agencies, but go ahead, Tammy.
No, that's okay. And sometimes we get asked by an economic development organization and a health foundation came together, but the belief is that there are fundamental root causes of some health problems. And sometimes jobs and education get mixed up into that conversation. If you have a job, you have a good education, your health outcomes are going to be better. But the reason we're doing this project, and I think the way we're going to know success, and I'll borrow from a colleague who had a vision for this, her name's Ricky, and she said her dream is that somebody lands at the airport at our airport here, and they're new to the community. And the Uber driver driving them to their destination says, man, welcome to Wichita, man. This is an opportunity. This is a community that has opportunity. We know we know that if you're here, you're going to have opportunity to be successful. And so that's kind of the thing that drove us in this area. Goodwill talks about their stores. They talk about their training facilities. Habitat for Humanity talks about affordable housing, but we don't all get together and talk about what that means as a community. And then you lay on to this, that the foundation is also asked to look at this as a region. So if somebody comes into Hutchinson, we talk about this as a region of opportunity. So that's kind of what we're trying to get to. We'll be successful if we can get some language that we're all familiar with, so that it doesn't matter where you're coming at it from. If you're living in South Wichita and you don't have a lot of resources that you think, if I can plug into one of these agencies, I have real opportunity here. Does that help?
Partial.
Okay, go ahead.
Still trying to learn.
No, that's a great question.
So you're talking to professional administrators and college graduates likely. Would your project be more successful if you made your way to Second Topeka and spent a half a day talking to the people there?
We are too.
We're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we're
what do
doing
you,
this across the board because we recognize that what economic or mobility may be to you is going to be something very different.
yeah, I don't need that. I'm there, but the people it sounds like your audience, when you drill down to everything, it sounds like your audience are those people who don't have the basics that probably everybody in this room has.
But they can't talk to that if those that are serving aren't on the same page with the language. So our desire is to help everybody in the region speak the same language, so those that need the services better understand that's what they can get by connecting. So we're bringing those that need the services with those that provide it using the same language, so everyone's on the same page.
So your most successful project is people at Second Topeka had some upward mobility accomplished. Is that where you're, by the time you drill down past all the different layers of the onion, is that where?
I think that's one of the groups. I think that there are a lot of other people that aren't going to be at Second Topeka.
Well, I'm using that.
Sure.
I'm using that as a generic because there's other pockets. There are bridges along the river. Sure. Go there, but I'm talking about, is that your audience when you drill down through everything?
I don't think we're just talking about the homeless population. I think we're talking obviously about a broad spectrum of this community in here. If you imagine, this is, I think, the best way I can kind of frame this. Those 20 different agencies that we're working with all offer some different aspect to those that have needs. It's much like the second light, if you will, where you've got multi-agencies coming together in one location because they each may service some aspect of that elephant if you can, but nobody serves everything. But because each of them speaks with a little bit different language to the people that they are trying to help, by having some common language that all of the agencies that are a partner in this effort can utilize, then that person who goes to one agency and talks to them understands because they're using the very same language as this agency that they have to deal with, as this agency that they have to deal with. So that's the purpose for trying to find some level of common language that they can use, and they're anxious to do this.
Are the food pantries in Wichita part of your group of 20?
Yep.
All of them?
Well, yeah,
Most, well,
most of them, yeah. Have to think about that a minute, but most of them, yeah.
You know, ultimately, others will come into this, but this is just initially the major entities that are already serving that population.
so your audience is more of these agencies to have some commonality, so then they could go out to the community and more effectively work with the people who need help.
I think that's quasi-fair, but I think downstream is ultimately the audience on this.
Okay.
It's the people that are going to need the help, that are going to be looking for service.
So we kind of, I work in architecture and interior design, and every time we go to a job site that has a different general contractor on the job, they're using different languages. And it's really hard as an employee or employer to interpret the data that these different general contractors are giving my employees. The other day, somebody said record drawing, and one of my employees looked over at me and was like, "What's a record drawing?" I said, "It's an as-built." They're like, "Oh, that's what it is." So I think you're trying to find, I think that's what you're trying to figure out. So
That's a great way to put it.
I have.
Will you
some-
just come with me, Rachel?
It's a hard job. You have a hard job. I don't want to be a part of it. I think you're gonna do great. So like pathway to prosperity, I feel like you need some like money stuff in there. So like financial empowerment,
Yeah.
you know, then to JV's point about mothers wanting something better for their children, if there's like a generational advancement opportunity or something, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be empowerment. I see financial, I see generational, I see advancement. I mean, those are the
Keeping your word pathway. Kind of, it indicates, you know, that there is a way.
And when I hear mobility too, I think I immediately went to disability.
Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
you know, so maybe making sure we get rid of mobility. I don't know.
It's a great observation.
And that's a perfect example. That's exactly what we're trying to do. And if it's most difficult for those that are receiving the services, how do we empower those that are offering the services to all get on the same page so they know when they're being offered that, they know it's all those pieces are inside of that conversation.
Thank you very much for taking the time and for the thoughtfulness to put your words into our project. We do have a survey. Yes, sir.
I got one more for you, Bill. Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is old, but I think it kind of
Sure.
is maybe umbrella that covers a little bit of all this. But it's simple, love your neighbor. I don't know if that's,
Isn't that nice?
I mean, it's as far as just when you think about whether it's economic, whether it's a mental, physical, whatever the situation is, just like this, if our whole community got that right and just had that thought process and that was our mantra. I mean, it's going back a couple thousand years to grab that one, but I think it makes it still.
It's universal that way, yes.
Overruled. Again, thank you very much. We've got a survey and there is, it's on the table over here, there we go, out in the hall. If you hit that QR code, there's a simple little survey on there. If you had the time to give us additional thoughts, we would really appreciate it.
Or share it.
Yeah, you can share it too.
Share it with others.
Share it with others. Thank you again for giving us some time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for your answers. I appreciate it.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our business facility. Our next meeting shall be April 6th, 2026. Same amazing room and establishment. Is there a motion for adjournment? Is there a second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. I don't think there shall be any opposed, but any opposed, same sign. We shall be adjourned. Thank you all. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
It's like, like the first thing, all of a sudden you guys like.
It's nice.
Wow.
And I do